hello, everyone, and welcome. I am so excited. I know we have taken a little bit of a hiatus, but we are back. Driven LLC here with the power of art. We got with us again this evening, Elder College Time, the Gullah Geechee Angel Network, and the Gullah Geechee Nation, right here, Charleston, South Carolina. So I just wanted to say hello and greetings to you and everyone as well. Well, Elder College Time, listen, I want to start this off a little different.
Okay.
And I do want to say to y'all might hear some little sweet tweets in the background. That's some puppy, and I'll talk about them later. But y'all just forgive me, okay? Okay. Well, anyway, like I said, we took a little hiatus, but we back. And not only we back, but there's been some changes, man. Let me tell you, it's cool. Okay.
I know.
and I will start off the show with something where you gotta get you in. I walked in my house, all right. I was like this. I can't in the house.
I know, right?
And put this on. That's when you know it's cold outside. Because you come outside, and I don't care if it's doggone near below zero. You first off, you woke up that morning before you touch the ground. Your grandmama already had you with your undershirt, your long johns.
That's right.
You got your turtleneck. Your you better have on your long drawers on your shirt, the top and your bottom. You better have on your undershirt underneath your long john.
That's right. That's right.
You better have the turtleneck on, and then a scarf on top of that, your gloves, your hat. Okay, all right. And then they're gonna find something else to wrap around you that don't even make no sense. And then you gotta put your two coats on top of that, the vest underneath. Okay. Yes. And then you put on your dress.
Yes, so yes.
You know you gotta get you wet, and you know it's cold outside when you walk inside the house and put on your coat. Okay.
That's right. That's right.
I don't care how cool it is outside. Don't touch that doggone thermostat.
I know,
that
right?
Can be 70 degrees all year long. Okay. So if you cold, put some more clothes on, and you better wrap up in a blanket. Then we keep the blanket on the tip.
I know, right?
Okay.
That's for sure. And then, when I've been coming up, we used to have these little stoves, they little small stoves. So you take your little slip and pull them up, and you stand in front of the stove and get your little self warm up. Yeah, before you go to school.
Papa used to have one in the potbelly stove right there in the living room. Okay. I can have little that thing there. It seemed like that thing gave off so much heat. Oh my goodness, I used to love that pot.
That's right. Yeah.
What most people don't know is
that. Right. But those were the days where you stay warm for sure.
Exactly.
That's right. And I can take you back farther than that. I can take you back farther than that when we had the wood stove. And then we used to put the doggone sweet potato on top of the wood stove.
What?
And then let the sweet potato cook, and then you warm your hands while the sweet potato been cooking. And oh man, there was some good sweet potato too.
They
were real good.
I bet. Better than we ever can imagine it.
What? Even no microwave then. Now I hope I ain't telling my age.
But see, that's the time that we need to get back to, And listen, I used to love them potbelly stoves, and what most people don't know is I used to be a wilderness counselor. So yes, I lived in the woods for 3 years, okay? And we used to have the same potbelly stoves. And I'm a little bit of a pyromaniac, okay? I have to admit. So when I became a senior counselor, I would get all the radios from all around the campsite. Chief Anastasia, can you please come to our campsite and light our stoves? They had one demand even like their stove. They said they want me because
I know. I know that's right. I know that's right. Yeah.
I sure wish I had one.
It was those times that made us who we are today, And from those experiences, you write a book, you do a song, you create from that. So it's made us quite creative, and we had to be creative in order to survive when I was coming up.
That's right. Because I tell you talk about being creative. Listen, my sister was just talking about this with me. We were talking about how I don't care if you got nothing but a piece of turnip as a rice. you can make about 4 or 5 different meals.
That's right.
It'll be a delicacy. You got some
That's
rutabaga,
right.
rutabaga and rice. We got rutabaga as a dessert, for lunch,
That's right.
dinner, and breakfast. And it's all
That's right. Yeah, you know, the Gullah Geechees were known for those one pot meals. You know, especially the specialty, the thing that I love the most, the food that I love the most, and a lot of people in Charleston and in the Gullah Geechee Nation love it, is butter beans and the okra soup. You know, and when I used to eat the little seafood, you throw a little shrimp in there too.
Oh man,
that's some good eating. And then you got to have a pot of dry rice. Yeah, all right, that rice can't be soggy; got to be dry.
No soggy rice and no Gullah Geechee rice. You bring that soggy rice, we ain't gonna eat them.
I know, right? And don't let the red rice be soggy. Lord have mercy.
Listen, I learned that red rice means something. Let me tell y'all something. Okay. Yes, the Gullah Geechee corridor is from Jacksonville, North Carolina, Jackson, Florida. Okay. Yeah. Let me tell you, if you go to Jacksonville, North Carolina, or Jacksonville, Florida, the red rice will be different than Charleston red rice. Okay. Yeah. Okay. I learned that the hard way.
Okay.
I go to somebody cook out, they tell myself, oh girl, we making red rice. I was like, ooh, I got teared up. And then I look, I say, what is Mexican rice says? What red rice? The rice still white and why soggy? I mean, I still it was good, but it was not red rice, I know.
Yeah, yeah. And you know the thing about it, the red rice actually is similar to the African jollof.
Exactly.
Yeah, I had a friend, he was from Ghana, and he stayed with us for about a year. And he told me, he said, well, I'm going to fix some jollof. So after he fixed the food and, you know, he had this spicy chicken, which was delicious with garlic and all kinds of good stuff. He fixed the food and brought it to me and my husband, set the table for us. And he said, this jollof. I say, this ain't no jollof, that's red rice. Yeah. Then I realized it was the same thing. It's just different. You know, we put a little different stuff in it than they do. It was absolutely delicious. And the one thing about this young man, he did not leave that pot. He cooked whenever he was cooking. He sat there and watched that pot. That's right. He said, "Watch pot never boil." Well, his own boiling, but good too.
See, that's how it need to be, you know.
Yeah, but it takes us back to when I was a young girl. My mom would start cooking on Saturday. And she would cook that soup all day, just about. And then Sunday, you know, you get to have the good stuff. But don't touch her pot before then. So that's Sunday dinner.
That's Sunday dinner, that's right. And I dare you to sneak that pot. Listen, that's the other thing. Y'all know you got a Gullah Geechee grandmama and grand aunt, right? When they look like they sleeping so hard and drooling and everything. They snore, mouth open, you know. But crack open that pot or turn the TV channel, and it's like eyes still closed. I done changed that. I say my whole name, my whole number. I know you ain't crack open like pots and stick your, and you best have wash your hands. Get your tail out my kitchen. I know you ain't changed my tail. How you know it's me? You put your eyes closed.
I know, right?
You were sleeping.
I know. Well, my mom, she was magical because she could be in her room and she had her refrigerator open. Who that in my refrigerator? And just come out the street. Get out my refrigerator. You know you're supposed to wash your hands before you come in my house. And she was doing COVID protocols before COVID came, you know?
Exactly. And you know, it's funny because those are the times that you say, oh, I ain't never gonna be like that. And I tell you, now my child walks in the house and that's exactly what I say and I do. I know you wash your hands. Right. I know you ain't even touched that refrigerator and you ain't washed your hands. You know, that's what we need to do, you know?
Yes.
We got to go back to some of those times. I wish, you know, I really do think that at some point in the next 10, 20 years, we're going to have no choice but to be back in those times. We're going to have to move our farming. Look at what's happening. I mean, COVID-19 is bringing back a lot of our creativity. Yes. But, and it's starting to unite us in other ways and very unique ways. But the reality is, as our past coming back up to us, you know, our ancestors coming back out. We're getting back to our farming and just everything, agriculture, everything that we knew before. We always had it in us. You know, we even know how to tell the weather before the weather happened.
That's right. That's right. That's right. Yes, right. Mm-hmm.
We can know, like you said, you can look outside. You look at the cloud before the weatherman say anything. You know when it's raining because you got to smell it.
Yes, that's right. That's right. Are you gonna hurt somewhere? Oh, I know it get ready to rain because my back hurt or my leg or wherever. So we were very much in tune with nature. But like you said earlier, we are getting back, and that's the way that we must survive. To go back to the old ways, go back and fetch, but still use these modern tools that we have. So I am excited about life. I am really excited because I foresee just wonderful things happening. And it's happening now as we speak. As we speak, you're in Florida and I'm in Charleston. That's amazing. And we face to face. So, all those things, I think that in order for us to get more, we have to have more gratitude and be happy with what we already got. And then the universe will bring more stuff. So I'm just like excited as usual.
Well, Elder Carly, I'm gonna grab one of these yelling things here and bring them in here so they can see what's going on in my background right now.
Okay.
You think you can share one of your Gullah Geechee poem with us?
Yeah, I'll do one of my. Yeah, definitely.
Okay, I coming right back.
All right. This is a poem that's dear to my heart. I always tell all the young people, but and when I say children, it don't have to necessarily be the young people. It could also be the grown-ups. So this poem is called Yena Children Wonder About What Yena Secret Be. Yena rich with the Gullah Geechee. If people think Yena lie about the one Yena be, then go crack your teeth about Yena history, because Yena Gullah Geechee. Yes. So that's one of the poems that I just felt that I need to let our people and everybody know that we are so blessed. We have so much riches, and we just have to go deep inside and just meditate and pray on those things that we already have. And as you move forward and you continue to do that on a continuous basis, your subconscious mind will pick that up, and you will become what you want to become. And I mean, if it's good stuff, you will become good. If it's bad stuff, you become bad too. So you have to really watch what you think and watch what you say. And, you really have to watch your feelings, because it's about feelings. It's about feelings and words. So, I just wanted to say that. I don't have another poem right now, but anyway, Anastasia gonna come on back here.
I come right now. Even all this noise in my background, because listen, 6 of these little things right here.
I know, right? They want some attention. Yeah.
This is Tank.
Okay.
Tank in the camera here. Tank is like, what is going on?
Tank wants to be on Zoom. I mean, he wants to be in the show.
Yeah. And Tank is a Black Muscle Terrier.
Okay.
They are officially 2 months.
All right.
This is a very unique one because look, he got these very special spots.
I see. Wow. Mm-hmm. So how big will he get?
Tank is a medium-sized dog. So his parents, they're I ain't but so tall, but just below my knees. So they're not too big. They're wonderful medium-sized dogs. They're great hunters. They're very loving, very protective of their owners. They're very just in tune with things.
Okay.
So they ain't gonna worry about nothing. And they're just full of love.
That's beautiful.
And this Tank here, because he's one of the big boys. We got 3 boys and 3 girls. And if anybody's still looking for one, a wonderful Christmas gift, just hit us up. You can inbox me. We're running all goodness stuff, getting some love. We're running a special discount here right now for Christmas special. So please inbox me. You can hit me up on Facebook or where. But they are just as precious.
All right.
We're trying to get them a new special home because we can't. Super. And they're so easy. They like little prairie ducks. You look at them. You're going all the way out now. Just like a town.
I tell you. He is something.
And the secret is my cat is sitting right next to me, and she's like, I know this little thing is not sitting over here. But this is Tank, and he is one of 6.
Wow. Wow.
Purebred.
Wow.
So yes, he is looking for a new home.
Looking for a new home. I don't know about that because it looks like he happy where he at.
They are. But listen, mommy said, you got to go because I done seeing y'all. I'm done. You have 7 weeks now. Fall back. Look. See, he said, what? What? Milk? But yes, I mean, I couldn't believe it. This tiny little dog had 6 puppies. And I mean, they are just, and
Wow.
I'm kind of jealous because her snatchback is real. I said,
What?
wow, how you, whoa, the snatchback is so real. See, you still, look at that. Just a plane. Just a
Ah,
plane. But this is Tank. Like I said, he is one of,
okay.
like anybody that is interested and there's one finding a new home for Tank or his siblings, they can always inbox me on Facebook, Instagram, here on YouTube. Just let me know. Send me a message. Where you going? Now my cat, she an old woman. She walk on the floor like this. Why you can't sit still? So she just walked off with a little sash just now. Lily, I know you saw me sleeping. You saw me. You bring that thing in here. That thing here smell funny. That's not a cat. I know that ain't no cat.
I hear.
Lily is was adopted in Puerto Rico. She's a little Puerto Rican cat. She was
Okay.
from the hurricane. And
Okay.
I'm telling you, I think Lily is truly delicacy. But the attitude she got and the way she act, and she always in the old soul, just like my baby.
Uh-huh.
I don't know
Yeah,
what Tank doing. Tank trying to get the Lily food, and Lily ain't gonna have that.
I know
But this,
that's right. So
she
where
gonna
are
be.
the rest of them?
The rest of them are in the next room. They're all eating. That's probably what Tank's like. Wait a minute. I hear the food bowl. Yeah.
Okay.
See, they know they're very, very smart. So
Right.
I literally put them in a kennel, and I know they're smart, but they were watching me.
Uh-huh.
They put their paw to unlatch the kennel.
Really?
They're very smart. Jack Russells are very smart.
Wow. Wow, that's a blessing.
Hmm. So I mean, you know when something's off, they will let you know. They will let
Wow. Great,
you know.
great.
They're
Yeah.
wonderful things to have. So yeah, if anybody's interested, just let me know. Like we said, we're gonna run a Christmas, we're running a holiday special.
I know that's right.
And listen, Tank also they like to eat. They will also do an organic diet because their parents are on that diet. Okay.
Yeah, I know that's right. I know that's right.
And green beans, they love green beans. Oh my goodness. But they are a mess. They're very lovable. And it's funny because I told my sister, I was like, y'all ain't setting me up because I'm not getting a puppy. I'm not doing it. And then they bring me Tank, and I'm like,
And,
really?
and Tank love you too.
Yeah. Tank wants to get down right now. Where you going? Where you going? I'm gonna go put him back with his siblings so he can eat.
Okay.
Just like we do, they're gonna fight over the pot. Give me right there.
Wow.
And sure enough, he's going straight for the food bowl.
He went, okay.
But yes, it's just so funny. You talk about nature and how
Uh-huh.
in tune we are. It's when I get up, they look like little prairie dogs. And they all got their heads in the same direction. And they're like, oh,
Really?
"How you doing?
Oh, wow.
We going for a walk? What we gonna do today? What we gonna?" And I'm like, "Oh, leave me alone. I can't stand the cuteness." But yes, and it's but even the dogs, it's funny because even when you talk about nature and spirit and our energies, we're just so in tune with so much of that. And even when it comes to the animals and just the earth, I feel like that like
Yes.
we all about that, you know.
Yes,
And
definitely, definitely.
you know, because I remember, oh gosh, I remember going on the basket stand with Papa, and it's funny because it's like before we ever saw anything, Papa always see a snake. You know when it comes,
Uh-huh.
something's out of the ordinary. I mean, if the wind blew, it was like, oh, danger alert! It's time.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
How do they know these things? But as you get older, you start understanding, even if you don't believe
Right.
it, but you understand, but you're in tune to
Yeah,
things, you know.
that's what it is. Yes, you become, yeah, you become in tune. If if you wise, you start to observe stuff more. You
Mm-hmm.
know, and you try to get closer to with the Christ universe, you know, you get your vibration right, whatever. But you try your best, especially if you are conscious. They say, you know, conscious. If you woke, like Dr. O used to say, stay woke. If you woke, you really start paying attention more to your body.
Mm-hmm.
That means you're eating better foods, who you around,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and your stress. And you try not to take in stress, because stress and aging is a disease. It's just a disease. And if we kind of, you know, start changing some of the things that we eat, some of the things that we think, we can actually change the aging, you know, we can change the aging back. And that's been proven scientifically. So it's just a lot of stuff, you know, and I'm here just taking it all in. Sometimes I don't even know where it's coming from, you know, but it's one thing will come and then another thing. And then I'm like, oh, wow, that's interesting. And then I have learned to be in tune with myself. In other words, sit down, be quiet, and just observe and let things just go. Don't even think about anything. Just let it clear your mind. And that has helped me a lot, because, you know, I had diabetes, and I was trying to find ways to lower my glucose. And I said to myself, I don't know how I'm going to do this, because I like sugar, I like sweet stuff. But I realized that I had to change my brains. I had to change my focus. And so my focus now is not on eating as much as it is on drinking water. So everything is about change, mindset change. You know, we really, you know, a lot of people look at it, oh no, I could say what I want to say and I could do what I want to do. But those things are the things that cause us to age and to get dis-ease. So,
and most of the time they're also defense mechanisms, you know.
Right.
I feel like, you know, of course, in our home environments, people don't understand cognitive behavior, you know, and cognitive behavior is basically that the way that you operate, your interactions with people,
Yes.
based on your beliefs, your foundation, what you have been conditioned to.
Right.
And a lot of times we don't even understand or grasp the level of how things have been placed in us. We don't even recognize them ourselves, but others.
Yeah, you're absolutely right.
And I love that you say you have to change your mindset. But, you know, I think I have to say that sometimes even for me, I've been through a lot, and I've shared, and I've been going to roll with people and talked about even on Facebook how I deal with fibromyalgia, endometriosis, acid reflux, and asthma. And now I'm being told that all the time I have sleep apnea as well. And I have a severe case. And I had no idea that sleep apnea was even a life or death thing. I had no idea.
Right.
But a lot of these things run in our family. They're in our genetics. And if we don't communicate these things, we don't understand them. But we don't understand as well when it comes to our mind that our health really impacts that. Because if, you know, for me, dealing with all these ailments, a lot of times when you live in chronic pain, you're not sleeping, you know. And, you know, our old school people at home would get offended or upset with me because I don't communicate as much with people. I don't stay in touch with people as much or often as I want to. But I've shared with people that a lot of times, especially if you don't feel like I'm reaching out, connecting, that would be a great time and a big hint that you may need to reach out to me.
Right.
Because it's not even necessarily that's what I want to do or what I'm choosing to do, but it's because of my mind and my body in this moment. That's where I am. But
right.
I say all that to say that, you know, I have all those things in front of me that sometimes when you talked about, you know, just being still and in tune with yourself, it can be so difficult because there's so many distractions and deterrences that keep us from being able to be still and still our mind. My mind, when it operates, it's usually I'm having 5 conversations at one time, you know, and the biggest part of our conversations, especially here in America, in our America, you know, it's about money. You know, it's about the next thing and how to those survival instincts. Because most of the time you're distracted by working 2 and 3 jobs, or you know, I got to take care of my child, I got to do this, I got to do that. Those I gotta that you can't focus. You know, so it's really hard to be still. And it's really hard even to maintain a good diet when you're constantly in motion. So now you're for convenience, you grab something quick, you go fast food, you do those things. But I know that you've been working really hard in our community and doing that things to try to share your experiences and bring other people on to talk about healthy eating and the importance of being still and how to really still your mind. Can you tell us a little bit about that? Because I know even me, I still struggle with that a lot of times.
Well, the first thing, I'll give you a day in Carly's life. The first thing I do in the morning is, I get up. And when I get up, I sit there and I set my intentions for the day. And then I do my prayers. And I'm always grateful. I don't care what's going on in America, Africa, wherever. I am grateful. As long as you tell yourself subconsciously, that will start becoming your narrative. But whatever you tell yourself, it's going to become your narrative. That's a fact. If you say you tired all the time, you're going to be tired all the time. And it's hard when you haven't been able to do that or constantly. But they say it's a 21-day rule. A 21-day, anything you do for 21 days is supposed to become a habit. So I have done all kinds of stuff for 21 days to see, if that really works. Yes, it works if I work it. So you have to work. You have to do some work. And I find too, your words is like a wand. It casts a spell. So whatever you say, it's going to be casting a spell. So I have learned to say, a lot of times I get carried away too, especially if I get upset, because I'm a Sagittarius, fire sign. And I have to say to myself, okay, roommate, which is that extra little talk in the head, shut up. That's not true. That's not my reality, and I'm not going to accept it. I deserve the best, and I will have the best. And, basically, it's all about you, because outside of you cannot really hurt you if you allow it to. It will. But you have to set your present, you have to decide what you want. And I do a lot of journaling, a lot of scripting. So you have to write it down, write the vision down, write it down. I got so many books. You think I got a bookstore, and a lot of it is just things that I've written over the years. I've seen it manifest. Now, it's not always perfect, and I've been fighting, some things I have to really say, okay, God, why am I experiencing this? And I try to find a lesson in just about everything. So, if somebody did something and I don't like it, I'll be like, I don't know why they did it, but I don't think it's right. Then some say, what's the lesson in it? And the lesson in a lot of times is you see what they did and you didn't like it. It hurt you. Don't you do it to anybody else. So that's kind of like what I do today. And I, I get up and I drink my tea. I get my tea and my water, because that water is so precious. We are 70% water. And we need to keep putting water in, because it cleanses us. It gets all that, all those toxin out. A lot of our body is filled with information from eating a lot of stuff over the years, meat, whatever. And I'm not saying people shouldn't eat meat. You eat what you want. But everything you do, Mama used to say, do it in moderation. So that works for me. It really does work for me. And I guess, too, I don't have a lot of distraction because I'm actually by myself now. My son is grown with his children, so I don't have a lot of distraction. So I have made this plan that I just make sure that I do pray, meditate, drink my water, drink my tea. And I may not eat till 12, because we don't need to eat 3 meals a day. We could actually eat 1 meal a day, or we can just eat 2 meals a day. But we eat a lot of food, and all that food just pile up and causes, and especially if they're not organic, they causes a lot of issues in our body. So that's kind of like where what I do, and I surround myself with good people like yourself and Queen Quet, people who are always purpose driven. I don't like to hear a bunch of, this and that, because that brings that into my spirit. That brings that into my environment. And I don't need certain things in there. Exactly. Speak life, be still, and be into. Oh, yeah, that's exactly right. Yeah. And self-care is the most important part of it. If we just take care of ourselves and we make sure that we make our intentions good for whatever we want, the universe is going to do the rest. You ain't even got to do nothing. You just got to go ahead and work your plan. And the universe is going to be bringing all that stuff to you. everything. I've seen it. I'll be like, oh my God, did I ask for that? But anyway, that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. But if you step on the tin pan bin, and that's the way my story ends.
Wow. And I'm glad you said it, your story. And I think that's something we have to remember is that our life is like a never ending story.
Right.
That movie, it's something that's continuous and we're always changing, always adapting. And it is just your story. At the end of you close the book, there's only going to be one being that's going to read it and truly review it. And everybody else, they can make any draft and do whatever they want, but at the end of the day, you can only account for your story.
That's life. Right. And I think that's like the girl that does the cooking say, it's your business. Well, I think, you got to mind your business. And that's what we get so involved in other people's business. Like, why she got that on? Well, that's her right to have that on if she want to have it on. You see what I'm saying?
So you don't know what you've gone through, or maybe that's all he got. You just don't, and I think so many times, and that all that is our own insecurities, and most of the time jealousy too,
Yeah.
But
those
things are spirits that we just gotta cut.
Yes, I'm glad you said that. It is spirit. It is spirit. Really. And we have to remember that we are a spiritual being having a human experience. So we need to tap into the spirit sometimes. And that's what I do in the morning. Hopefully I pray that I am, tapping into that spirit of what God wants me to do. What am I supposed to do today? And when you ask that question, why, what am I supposed to do today, or why, the answers come. You just got to pay attention to it.
Wow. I love that you said tap into our humanity, tap into being that human. And because I feel like we really absolutely need to, especially right now. We're living in a time where we ain't got no choice. We've got to tap into something because there's a whole lot of inhumane things happening around us. Now you recently had an event, and I want to talk about that a little bit.
Okay.
This past weekend, correct? And it encompasses this whole thing about self-care. So I wanted to, ask you about that. Can you tell us a little bit more elaborate about that event and how that went?
Yeah, we had on November 21st the Health and Nutrition Symposium. And actually, it was more information that we gave out about the community that we're working in, which is Union Heights, the love of my life, historical Union Heights. And we have this space called Unitarian House, which is a hub for information for Gullah Geechee history, for culture and tradition. And we wanted people in the community to know that that's why we're there and what Unitarian House means. But we also wanted them to be aware of their health and what they can do to try to prevent some of the things that are happening, especially in this time in COVID. So we gave out bags of gloves. We gave out masks, and we gave out sanitizer. And then thankfully, the Union Heights Community Council came out, Angela Doxey, Mr. Witherspoon, and Mrs. Moore came out, and they brought all these paper towels. Blessings. And then we had a guest come in, King Divine came in, him and his family, and I love them, the children and all. That's really a family, I just love to see that whole family unit coming together. So they came and he talked to the men about different herbs that they could use for like prostrate and what have you. We also had Mr. Arthur Chisholm. He came and, he's always very highly motivated, telling people about, how to, lift your spirits up and how, we got to work together. So that was beautiful. And then he had a DJ, Mr. Bobo, and they played songs. My favorite song that I asked him to play was Holding On by Gregory Porter, which my mom loved. And she used to play that all the time. And I was sitting in the room meditating, like I said, one morning. And I was like, why mama always say holding on? And I thought about it. That's what we have to do, because this too shall pass. Sometimes we want to give up. We want to say, I feel so bad. I just want to. But she said, she played that, I'm holding on. And that song stuck with me all the time now when I'm thinking about, I don't feel like doing that today. And something say, got to hold on. You got to keep it moving. And that's one of the things that we talked about earlier, is keeping it moving, making sure we exercise. We had some guys, Union Heights is like, people ride a lot of bicycle. So that's a good thing, walking bicycles. So the young man who does bicycle riding, he came out and he rides over to, he's from Union Heights, and he came and he was telling us how he go to Cooper River. I was really excited because, to see people from that community that's trying to think about health. And so that spirit of us bringing that symposium there made people more conscious and aware. Even those people who are perhaps on drugs, they came through and they wanted some of the vegetarian food that Destiny Kitchen had donated. I was like, this is vegetarian now. They were like, that's all right, ma'am, I'll take it. I said, okay. So we had a wonderful time. My sister Savannah came out, she talked a little bit, but the greatest thing that happened was, to me, is to see my niece Talia Augustine come from Atlanta, Georgia, in COVID time with her mask and everything, and the children too, to help. And she's a minister, and she came and she brought this wonderful spirit of unity, and it was just wonderful. And she talked about how she, grasped her Gullah Geechee culture from being around the family, because she lives in Atlanta and she had never been around the family as much. And because of the Gullah Geechee culture, and she found out more about it, she knows who she is now and why she's so intuitive. So it was so many things that happened that was so great. Then we had this great masseuse, and Zandrina Riley came out. They gave 25 minutes of massage to the young man, and they were like, yes. We from the Gullah Geechee Angel Network. This is how the Unitarian House is going to operate. We're going to operate. We haven't gotten inside because we still got a lot of work to do inside, but we gonna pass out where we at. If we got to be outside, which we need to be outside because of COVID, we gonna be outside. So doing more of those. Talia wanted to do one for the women. So we're going to talk to you because we want to do something. We always talked about those, us doing something for the women too. And then we'll come back and just do a whole family thing, But that's what the Unitarian House is about. It's about empowering the people and understanding that we are anointed people and that we have everything we need. We just have to go within and, just ask the good Lord to continue to order our steps. And don't forget our ancestors, because they're with us.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So that's what happened. And I was so excited, girl. I was happy. I was like, and the sun was shining and it was beautiful. And the food and it's so many things that we didn't have a lot of people, but guess what? I spoke that into existence. I said to myself, well, I don't want a lot of people out here because, COVID. And sure enough, it wasn't a lot of people, but it was not the quality. It was not the quantity, but it was the quality. But the people there received it. So
absolutely, and then that's going to go out into the community, and Clearing House gets up and running too. That'll be more that comes in, So that's awesome. I kind of jealous of massage, and I got a personal masseuse here. She only
yeah, I know you talk about that.
But speaking of the ancestors, I think she a couple of them done come back. Okay, because the things that come out this child's mouth, I said, Lord,
I know.
My mama, my great-great-grandmama, the great-great-great-grand, I don't know. But she was speaking of massage, and I told you about how she helped us out for Thanksgiving.
Yeah, with the turkey.
Let me tell y'all. So my baby said, even too happy that she helped. She did, y'all. She took her first turkey at 7 years old, okay? She went ahead and she got to pull the heart, the giblets, all that out. And she said, ugh, that was yuck. And we said, okay, but put that stuff to the side and turkey neck. We're going to say, turkey neck? What are you doing? What that thing? What are you going to do with the neck? You just do that. Ugh. What you thought you ate the other day? But she was too funny because she was just telling somebody about the turkey. And I said, oh. And she said, yeah, I massage. I said, I'm kind of jealous of that massage with the turkey. I can't get a massage like that. She said, yeah, you just slap it a few times. I said, what? Time out, slap it. I don't want to slap you a few times. I don't slap it. Don't do that. but the way she told it, she was so serious, and I slapped it a few times.
and that's an example of a child will grow up to become what they see. And she's been around a lot of wise women and wise men since a baby. I know because I've been there. So she had that wisdom is there, it's growing with her. And I'm glad to see that, and it's a blessing. And that's what I want to see other young people, find out more about who they are so that they can become who they know they are, Gullah Geechee anointed or whatever good things they know, whether they're not Gullah Geechee, just find that peace. And she's really grown up. I'm like, wow, I'm so excited because I remember when she was a little hand baby. You brought her in the church that time. I remember. And she's been around historical people, more Dean, who probably will go down in history, yourself, all the great things that you do, multi-talented you are. So she she get it from you, She know she's smart like you. She's a genius like you.
So thank you. And that's something too that's just beautiful about us culturally is that continuous cycle. I mean, I remember meeting you and loving the fact that you had to take a step up program and see this beautiful exchange of present knowledge from the youth to wisdom from the elders was just amazing. And I've learned even so much myself and became more in tune to who I was. We always knew we've been Gullah Geechee, and it used to be this joke, I remember I used to be at food hall and I would tell people these things, and that was part of my presentation. First off, I ain't gonna tell you that I was a Gullah Geechee storyteller because I don't tell no story. For us, that's lying. I ain't storying, okay? But we had to, I used to share with people too. Your Gullah Geechee win, and we would joke about it. But these are things that we grew up and with, talking about rice. I ain't care what you got. But the Gullah, you Gullah Geechee win. You walk in the house and you say, "Oh, what you got for breakfast?" I'm in a rice. Oh, what you got for lunch? Some okra soup and rice. What's for dinner? Yeah. Well, you got to snack on, girl. You better crack an egg and get you some egg and rice.
What? And what? I don't know if they still do it because I don't do meat at all now, except fish, and that's only salmon. But we used to have bologna and grits, fry that bologna hard. Oh man, and then burn a little bit, and then put some butter on that grits. What?
That's what get that little flavor. They ain't know nothing about that. But see, those are those things where it comes back, and when we sit there, we might have laughed about that and joke about it, but then it connects us to our history because it tells a story about us and how the rice, our story about what's so important to us about rice, how that's connected to us, how we were always have been people of the earth and of the land. When you even dig into the Orishas, African Orishas in our culture, you start understanding who we are, where we come from.
Right.
And why we were chosen to be enslaved because we were such resourceful people. And as you go through and you dig a little bit more through those jokes and stories that are passed down about rice, there's a deeper connection to us.
That's exactly right.
Learn about, when we talk about the weather, like we talked about, when you come in a house and you put your scarf and your hat and your coat on, and you hear the elders talk about, that cold is because we understood we didn't have the cold like this where we were from, and we understood when the old people used to tell us, our elders used to say, the cold get in your bones. They were talking about things and problems that came a part of us once we were forced to come here, and it's just amazing as you start tearing things apart that you learn so much that there's a deeper meaning behind it. And you see that things that we even continue to do today and that exist in our culture have always been there. And that's why, as Gullah Geechee descendants, we are people that continue to practice our original African heritage.
Yes.
And I'm just loving being a part of that and understanding more of who I am. And I think that's so important. Like you said, we got to know from whence we came, nor where we must go. Because if you don't have a foundation to stand upon, then what are you doing besides sinking and sinking down?
Exactly. And I agree. I look at some of the stories about Africa, and I was a young man. I think it's Uhuru. He was in Senegal today, and he was eating some rice, and I think it's called benenchi. It's in Senegal, something like red rice. And I was looking at his plate. I was like, wow. I mean, he had a big plate of rice with this red, soup looking stuff, peanut butter soup. And I was like, that's a lot of rice. And I said to myself, I remember you used to eat them like that too, gal. It was a plate of rice. And I know a family where they had this much rice on their plate. I mean, it would be like a lot of rice. Everybody in the family would have all this rice with the greens on top of it, And then the mother actually ate with her hands. Right here in the Gullah Geechee Nation. That's been a long time ago. But she would actually eat the greens and stuff with her hands. That's right. So when I saw them doing that in Ghana, I was like, yeah, we used to do that too, So,
and then that goes back, like you mentioned earlier, you were talking about how your mother used to practice procedures for COVID before COVID was here.
Yeah.
Even then, it goes back. There's so many people that try to say that we are filthy or beneath clean and all this. But if you eating greens and rice, I'm sure your hand clean. Because I that you ain't coming here because especially if we eating off the same pot and off the same plate. You ain't.
I know.
No snotty book of hands. If you scratch your bum, you better go wash your hands.
Right, and it's no way that the elders that I knew would get some collard greens from the store and cook them. They wash them thing good. They clean them, they wash them, they pick them, everything.
And listen, and they always find something that was like you couldn't see it with the naked eye,
Right.
Man, you have a microscope? No, I know that to wash them off. And then we all sitting on there. I remember my face used to ball up. And I mess with these greens, and then when you try to take the shortcut and you ball them up and you gotta get I show you don't mess with I know you did that. How you know I did me?
That's right.
But automatic simply because I've been the oldest,
Right.
But it was something that was important to us. And it just you to also remember to always do your best and don't accept nothing. And I think it's so important, everything that we talked about tonight. Remembering who we are, talking about all these things that we need to do to be true to who we are and be in tune to us. And I think that self-care is also has to play a lot into not just our personal health and our well-being, but that of our community as well.
That's exactly right.
If you take care of self and allow what's happening on the inside to flow on the outside, then it'll just be this continuous circle.
It happens. It happens. Yeah, it happens. And I just wanted to say this about you. I always thought about, I have a poem actually, and I don't have it right there in front of me, but I have a poem about the sweetgrass basket, and I always thought it was a magical act. I was like, take grass and make it into a basket. Wow, what magic. I'm like, oh, it's just so amazing. Taking this grass and making it into this beautiful piece. So he always was able to create. And I think, that's what the world has to get back to, get away from the competition and get back into the creativity.
Absolutely. I think those two things are vital right now, creativity and culture.
Right.
And I think that if we remember to fuse them together and understand the fluidity of them, how they go in and out of each other, and we embrace our own creativity and culture. And I don't care what you are, if you're on this earth, you have some form of creativity.
Yes.
Your creativity may not be the common or the norm per se, but it is your creativity, your world, your mind, your imagination. Yes. And I think that if you tap into that, and if we all do, and if we really embrace who we are, our own personal culture, even if it changes, let's talk about the sweetgrass basket. It's evolving. There's things that I do differently, than what my, say grandfather might have done, It's still part of my culture. I'm just evolving with the time and still holding my past and preserving my culture at the same time. And that's okay. It's hard to change. It's difficult, but it's possible and it's necessary. And right now, but if we use that creativity and our culture and we embrace it, I think that things in our lives may change. Because to be honest, I'm going to just say it, this America, even though we might have built it, isn't really out, And there's so many people trying to decide who it belongs to. And it's getting so crowded because there's so much space. You know how it is. You fill up a cup, you can't fill it up anymore or add to it if it's already full. So we have to change our mindset and embrace who we are and get back to our roots and our culture and let life happen that way. Just like that, the families, the 19 families in Georgia who are building their own city, right? And a big part of their mission is to basically embrace their creativity and their culture and use it in their own cities to make it a safe harbor for our people. I think that's possible. And it's difficult. Ain't nothing gonna come easy. But it existed before and it can again. It's just going to look different.
Right.
But we have to. And when I say we, I'm talking about everybody, white, black, brown, purple, whatever, them, everybody.
Well, yeah, I agree with you. There's a lot of people repatriating back to Africa. I believe that, for me, like you said, it's my story that I'm saying. For me, is when I prepare myself within, then I can go just about anywhere I want to go. You see what I'm saying? And I've witnessed that too, because I've been some places that I don't know how I get there. I'm like, okay, did I fly here? I mean, really fly here? Did I think this? So we have to get the mindset. Even if we go back to Africa, we can't take some of the stuff that we have learned here to Africa, because we've been programmed for certain things, and we still have that. So we have to work on self, and then we can move forward. Even moving to another city, it's different. You see what I'm saying? There's different norms you gotta look at. So it's firstly, I say work on yourself. If you work on yourself in a good way, everything you need will come to you. I bear witness to that. I ain't saying it's gonna come. I'm of age, and it has come as I age and understand life better. But there is a guy that's traveling around. I think he's traveling around some of the countries in Africa. Go black to Africa, and that's one of the things that he was saying, that he feels comfortable what he's doing because that's what he wants to do. We just have to make a decision what we want to do. Everything is based on a decision, and if you make a decision and you decide you want to do it, you can do it. Now, you can make a lot of excuses, you see, and I do too, because a lot of times I'd be like, no, I don't think I want to do that. Why? Because I'm scared. Fair, so once we work on self and don't allow these things that are going on to take control of our personal self, and lean back sometime and observe and say, okay, what can I do with that? Hey, the Gullah Geechee Nation came out of a need for, what can we do? What can we do to make things better for our people? And that's what happened. We already was a nation. We've just lost that when we came here and became enslaved. We lost our humanity, but now we have it back, because there's a lot of people now who are really proud to be Gullah Geechee. To me, that is the most important thing in the world. And I can thank Queen Quet, because she's done a great job of moving around and, making sure that people understand who we are, and then now we got you, and we got other younger people, Talia, all of these, everybody, Sharonda. We got people that are younger people that, can carry the torch on, because we need to, I need to keep expanding until, the good Lord call me home. And there ain't gonna be no time soon, because I could try to eat the right thing. I could try to think the right thing.
That's right.
Good people around me, I can do all them things.
That was that little person, until he called, but I ain't ready to go yet. No. I was saying that, but I ain't speaking that until this is gone. What I'm saying is when that time comes, but I'm just saying, Lord, I ain't gonna make up my mind for you.
Right.
I love you. Hallelujah. Amen. But I ain't ready.
No, I still got a lot of work to do.
Yeah.
The work is not done. I want to continue to do the good work.
That's what, like when you said speak life. Life, over another 100 years or so.
Yeah,
I ain't ready yet.
Hey, we're humans, so sometimes you have to put the disclaimers on stuff, Like, cancel that one.
That's right. That's right. You got to let them know. Yeah, let them know. I'm saying what had happened was what I was.
Yes.
You know, I didn't write that one down now. Just for clarification, Lord. I just want to know. It ain't time yet, but what?
No.
Wait. Down the road.
Yeah, but I want everybody to know that the Gullah Geechee Nation has the highest retention of African tradition in America. And the second place that has a lot of African tradition outside of Africa is Brazil. So, I'm ready to go to Brazil at some time when COVID is over with. I want to go to Brazil. So anybody out there wants to take me to Brazil, let me know.
A couple of disclaimers. If anybody else, you can do that too. That's after, full pandemic.
Yes.
I think you know how you used to be sitting at, somewhere, and that one person, you got that one family member that never remembered how to cover their mouth, and somebody, it was like an automatic reflex. I don't care. Whatever's next to them, if it was a flip flop, a stick, a spoon, and they ain't covered it.
I know.
I feel like that everywhere I go now. Somebody might be choking.
I know, right?
I know you coming up. I don't even know the person. They go
I know, right?
Yeah, you got on a mask, but you gotta cover your mouth.
I know. No. I like to.
Don't you do that before? Listen, that's the other thing. My old soldier, my little baby here, my ancestors, in March, at the beginning of this, why my baby took this big stick. She has this desk that has this really long tape, this stick that you can put paper on to make drawings. She took that off and decorated and came down and said, "Mommy, this is my Corona stick. If you want and she still put that thing on her desk. That is her Corona.
Corona stick, huh?
She done show me all my little walking sticks and stuff that I created. She told me I can use it as a Corona stick, but if I need to use her Corona stick, I know where to find them at. Listen, when them people tried to get me to go back in that school, I said I was going to strap one of everybody's Corona stick all around me.
I know that's right. I know that's right.
I said, I'm gonna be walking down and you can hear me coming because I'm gonna be in somebody's bubble wrap.
I know. Michael Jackson had the right idea,
Mm-hmm. But but I just want to close this on a positive note. I appreciate you. I love the fact that we've taken from this to really just embrace who you are. Creativity and culture is going to really help amplify us,
right?
And really help us bypass so much of what's happening. It's already in work. We just have to embrace it and not allow others to really discredit us and who we are. Because the reality is, a lot of our culture is being manipulated and used throughout this United States and in the economy itself. You can try to erase us, but we will always exist, and no matter what, they cannot deny our existence.
Exactly, exactly. I agree with you 100%. And the thing about it is that we are rising, and we what Maya Angelou say, I rise, no matter what. So that's the story that I have, that we are rising. We have risen. We are there. We just have to find a way to get others on board, because it's no fun being at the top by yourself.
That's right. Texas, South Carolina, but I ain't gonna go there. Some another day. Wait, the person say, no, I ain't tonight. But wake up, son. But yes, speak life. Be still. Be in tune with yourself. Self-care is not selfish. Take care of yourself so that love and things that inside you can also come out. So you can pour it out. But just, and know who you are. In order to do that, you must know from what you came from. Okay.
Yes.
Again, like I said, I appreciate you. I love you.
Thank you. Peace and blessing.
I hope everyone continues to grow and have a wonderful holiday season. We still kicking it back here on Wednesdays. I ain't gonna lie, might skip a couple, but don't be mad at me. I still love y'all. Like coming back. There's more life happening.
Yes.
But It's there. Go ahead.
I wish everybody have a very, very, very prosperous and holiday. Merry Christmas, Happy Kwanzaa. I love you all, and just love yourself. Look in the mirror and tell yourself, I love you. You are beautiful.
Yes, every inch of you, every nook and cranny is beautiful.
Yes.
Well, thank you, everyone. I'm going to close out with our video. Remember to check out the website togetherweshall.com. We do have our Delagichi fried wear there as well. Elder Colleytown is going to be also adding some things to our collection with the Delagichi Network, which you can also support her in the Yenna Sharon House in Union Heights. If you don't know, please ask. Hit us up on Facebook, Instagram, the Crisco, oatmeal, the crackles, all that jazz. But reach out to us or go to Delagichi Angel Network.com as well to learn about the culture and how to support Unit Sharon House. Well, I wish you all the best. Catch us Wednesday at 7 p.m. Peace and love to everyone. Thank you.
Peace and love. Peace.